Hey everybody! So now it's time to talk about the wrap up. So once you've gone through all the topic folders and you've completed all your other assignments, you are going to come to the wrap up. All the modules have one, and this is where you're really going to get the chance to think about and process and reflect on everything you've learned in that module. So once you click on it, you can see that it's broken into two parts. So for part one, you are going to do some sort of hands-on activity that has to do with something that you learned. So, for example, in Module 1, your activity that you would be completing is to come up with a weekly study schedule. Here's a template. You would click on it, and you would be able to put in all your own personal information, work schedule, personal life, maybe your kids, if you have kids, your study hours, and all of that, and come up with your own study schedule. Once that's done and you've saved it, you would come to part 2. So part 2 is a journal entry. Now, depending on what FYE course you're taking will determine how many of these journal questions you need to answer. Once you know how many questions you're supposed to answer, you would come up here to create journal entry. So now you can see this is where you will title it, and this is where you will answer however many questions you're supposed to. You really want to make sure that you elaborate on what you're saying. You don't want to just use bullet points or write one sentence or anything like that. Once you're done with those questions, here's where you will upload that saved study schedule. Now again, all the modules, part 1, are going to look a little different. So for module 1, it's a study schedule, but for other modules, it may be a blog or a presentation or some sort of other assignment that has to do with something you learned in that specific module. So once your questions are answered, your assignment from part 1 is uploaded, you will post your entry. And that is it for the wrap up. But I do want to show you guys really quick one thing that is extremely helpful, and it talks about it here, is looking at the rubric. So not just even for the wrap up, but any assignment in any of your classes, you can look at the rubric, and this is really going to show you how the assignments are broken down. You see you have part 1, you have part 2, readability, and this is a great tool to use if you are unsure of something, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, or you have some questions about the assignment, because this really gives you an idea of the expectations and what is being looked for. And that's it. So good luck.